The silence of space stretched endlessly around the patrol ship Thunder, broken only by the soft hum of its engines. Commander James Stone stood at the observation deck, his tall frame reflected in the reinforced glass as he gazed at Jupiter's swirling storms. 20 years of military service had left their mark on his weathered face, but his eyes remained sharp and alert. Something didn't feel right. Stone had patrolled this sector countless times, and his enhanced senses, a result of the military's super soldier program, were screaming warnings at him. He walked to the main console, his movements fluid despite the heavy tactical armor he always wore. "Run a deep space scan," he ordered the ship's computer. "Focus on the dark side of Jupiter." "Scanning, Commander," the computer responded in its neutral tone. Initial results showed no anomalies. Stone frowned. His instincts had never been wrong, not since the enhancement procedure. He typed in new commands, redirecting power from non-essential systems to boost the scanner's range. The screen suddenly lit up with hundreds of tiny dots. "Alert," the computer announced. "Multiple objects detected emerging from Jupiter's shadow. Initial count, 10,457 vessels of unknown origin." Stone's enhanced mind processed the information instantly. The ships were appearing in a perfect formation, their energy signatures unlike anything in Earth's database. They had somehow masked their presence using Jupiter's magnetic field. "Computer, estimate their technological level," Stone commanded, already sending an encrypted emergency signal to Earth Command. "Analysis indicates technology approximately 300 years ahead of current Earth capabilities. Detected energy readings suggest advanced fusion drives, plasma weapons, and quantum shielding." Stone watched as the massive fleet began to move. Their formation was beautiful in its precision and terrifying in its purpose. This was no exploration fleet. The way they positioned themselves screamed one thing: invasion. His neural implants connected directly with the ship's systems, processing data faster than any normal human could. The fleet's trajectory, their speed, their formation, everything pointed to a carefully planned military operation. They had bypassed all of Earth's early warning systems, all the detection arrays set up around the solar system's edge. "Computer, time until they reach Earth at current speed." "Approximately 47 hours, Commander." Stone's enhanced muscles tensed as adrenaline flooded his system. 2 days. Earth had 2 days to prepare for what could be the greatest threat humanity had ever faced. The emergency channel crackled to life. "Commander Stone, this is Earth Command. We're receiving your signal. Please verify the data you're sending. These readings can't be correct." "General Adams, the data is accurate," Stone responded, his voice steady despite the situation. "We're looking at over 10,000 warships, sir. They're using technology we've only theorized about, and they're headed straight for Earth." There was a long pause before the general spoke again. "Your orders are to maintain observation distance and gather as much intel as possible. Do not engage. I repeat, do not engage." "Understood, sir." Stone watched as more ships emerged from Jupiter's shadow. "Request permission to attempt communication." "Negative, Commander. We don't want to reveal that we've detected them yet. Return to Earth immediately. We need your expertise for what's coming." Stone took one last look at the alien fleet. In all his years of service, through all the battles and conflicts on Earth, he had never seen anything like this. The sheer scale of the fleet suggested they weren't just dealing with a single alien civilization, but possibly an entire coalition of worlds. As he turned his ship toward Earth, Stone felt a strange mix of fear and excitement. Humanity had always wondered if they were alone in the universe. Now they had their answer, but it wasn't the one they had hoped for. The Thunder's engines flared as Stone pushed them to maximum speed. Behind him, the alien fleet continued its steady advance toward Earth, their intentions unknown but their purpose clear. Humanity's greatest test was about to begin, and James Stone had a feeling he would be at the center of it all. The United Earth Defense Council chamber was filled with tension. 24 hours had passed since Commander Stone's discovery, and the alien fleet was now passing Mars. The room's massive screens showed real-time images of the vessels, their dark hulls reflecting the distant sunlight. Stone stood at attention before the council, his enhanced body showing no signs of fatigue despite being awake for over 30 hours. The council members looked tired and worried. They had been in emergency sessions since his return. "They're broadcasting something," announced the chief communications officer. "It's on all frequencies." The main screen flickered, and an image appeared. The alien that faced them was tall and gray-skinned, with 4 eyes arranged in a diamond pattern. Its voice came through the translators in perfect English. "People of Earth," it began, "I am High Commander Rax of the Stellar Dominion. We have watched your species for centuries. Your rapid advancement has forced us to act." Stone noticed how the alien's eyes focused on different parts of the room simultaneously. Their species had evolved for constant awareness, perfect for space warfare. "You stand on the brink of discovering faster than light travel," Rax continued. "This cannot be allowed. Your species is too aggressive, too unpredictable. Submit to our authority now, and we will guide your development. Resist, and we will have no choice but to eliminate the threat you pose." The council chamber erupted in angry shouts. General Adams raised his hand for silence. "High Commander Rax," Adams spoke carefully, "we are a peaceful species. Our space exploration has been focused on scientific discovery, not conquest." The alien's upper eyes narrowed. "We have studied your history, your wars, your conflicts. Even now, your most decorated military officer stands in your chamber, a human modified for combat." All eyes turned to Stone. The alien knew about the enhancement program, which was supposed to be Earth's most closely guarded secret. "You will send this enhanced human to our command ship," Rax demanded. "He will serve as your representative during the surrender process. You have 6 Earth hours to comply." The transmission cut off. The council chamber remained silent for several long moments. "They're afraid of us," Stone said suddenly, his enhanced mind putting the pieces together. "Think about it. They have technology centuries ahead of ours, but they're demanding surrender instead of just attacking. They're worried about something." General Adams nodded slowly. "Commander Stone, what's your assessment of their fleet?" "Their ships are advanced, but their formations are rigid, predictable. They rely too heavily on their technological advantage. And they're especially interested in me, in human enhancement capabilities." "Could you?" One council member began hesitantly. "Could you fight them?" Stone's enhanced eyes scanned the tactical displays. "Their ships are stronger, faster, and better armed, but they move like machines, following programmed patterns. With the right strategy, their numbers might not matter as much as they think. We're not seriously considering fighting them." Another council member protested. "Look at their fleet. They've been watching us for centuries," Stone replied. "If they're moving against us now, it's because they're scared of what we're becoming. And scared enemies make mistakes." General Adams stood up. "Commander Stone, do you accept the role of Earth's representative?" Stone straightened his back. "Yes, sir. But I recommend we add one condition to my acceptance." "What's that?" "I go in my full combat gear, with all my enhancements active. If they're so interested in humanity's potential, let's show them exactly what we can do." The council members looked at each other nervously. They all knew about the secret neural interface Stone carried, the ability to control multiple ships with his mind. It was Earth's greatest military advancement, and now it might be their only hope. "Very well," General Adams said. "Send the message. Tell them Commander Stone accepts their invitation." He turned to Stone. "And Commander, whatever happens up there, remember, the fate of Earth depends on you." Stone nodded, his enhanced muscles already preparing for what was to come. The real test wasn't facing the alien fleet. It was making them understand that humanity wouldn't bow to threats, no matter how overwhelming the odds seemed. Commander Stone sat in his personal quarters aboard the Thunder, preparing for his meeting with the alien fleet. His combat suit gleamed under the lights, its surface hiding the most advanced technology humanity had ever created. But the real weapon wasn't the armor. It was what was inside his head. He touched the small scar behind his ear where the neural interface had been implanted. 5 years ago, when they found that crashed alien scout ship near Pluto, no one could have guessed it would lead to this. The ship's neural control systems had driven 3 test pilots insane before Stone volunteered. "Commander," the ship's computer interrupted his thoughts. "General Adams requests your presence in the launch bay." Stone found the general standing next to 4 sleek, unmanned ships. They were Earth's newest stealth vessels, each one barely larger than a fighter, but carrying enough firepower to destroy a cruiser. "Your backup," Adams said, gesturing to the ships. "Each one linked directly to your neural interface. Are you sure you can handle all of them at once?" Stone nodded. During training, he had managed to control 6 ships simultaneously. His enhanced brain processed the multiple data streams like they were extensions of his own body. No other human had managed more than 2 without suffering severe mental breakdown. "The aliens don't know about this capability," Stone said, running his hand along one of the ships. "They know about the physical enhancements, but not the neural interface." "That's our only advantage," Adams replied. "Their ships are more advanced, but they can't match human neural plasticity. Their brains can't handle multiple consciousness streams like ours can." Stone began his pre-flight checks, connecting with each ship mentally. In his mind, he could feel them. 5 points of light, including his own thunder, all responding to his thoughts. The sensation had been overwhelming at first, but now it felt natural, like having extra limbs. "Remember," Adams said, "this is a diplomatic mission first. We only reveal this capability if absolutely necessary. And if they demand immediate surrender, then you show them why they were right to fear human potential." The launch bay doors opened to space. Stone boarded the Thunder while the 4 unmanned ships powered up around him. To any observer, they would appear to be running on standard AI control systems. As they approached the alien fleet, Stone marveled at its size. Thousands of ships stretched out before him, their formation perfect and unchanging. Too perfect, he realized. Too rigid. Their technology might be advanced, but their tactics showed no creativity, no adaptation. The alien flagship's docking bay swallowed the Thunder. Stone kept the neural link with his other ships active but hidden, leaving them in stealth mode just outside the fleet's sensor range. As he stepped out of his ship, 20 alien guards surrounded him, their weapons trained on his position. High Commander Rax appeared, all 4 eyes studying Stone intently. "Remove your combat suit," the alien ordered through a translator. "The suit stays," Stone replied calmly. "It's part of me now, just like the enhancements you're so interested in." Rax moved closer, examining Stone with scanning devices. "Fascinating. Your neural activity is unlike anything we've seen. How do you maintain consciousness with such high synaptic firing rates?" Stone smiled slightly. They still didn't understand. What they saw as dangerous instability was actually humanity's greatest strength, the ability to adapt, to push beyond normal limitations. "We should discuss Earth's surrender," Rax said, leading Stone toward a conference room. "Of course," Stone replied, feeling the comforting presence of his hidden ships at the edge of his consciousness. "But first, I think we need to talk about why you're really here, about why you're so afraid of human potential." Rax's 4 eyes blinked in sequence. "Afraid? We have 10,000 ships to your 1. Numbers," Stone said, his enhanced mind running combat simulations, even as he spoke, "aren't everything. Sometimes quality matters more than quantity. Sometimes a single human is all it takes to change the course of history." The alien commander stared at him, not yet realizing that the real battle was about to begin, not with weapons, but with the revelation of just how far humanity had evolved. The meeting with High Commander Rax was interrupted by urgent alarms blaring through the alien flagship. One of Rax's officers burst into the room, all 4 eyes wide with panic. The Mars colonies, the officer reported. Fleet Group 7 has begun the warning strike. Stone's enhanced hearing picked up Rax's whispered command. I didn't authorize this attack. On the room's large display screen, hundreds of alien ships moved toward the Mars colonies, where 10,000 human settlers lived. Stone's neural interface instantly connected with his hidden ships, battle plans forming in his enhanced mind. This is your warning, human, Rax announced, trying to hide his surprise at the unauthorized attack. Watch how helpless your people are against even a small part of our fleet. Stone stood calmly, his combat suit humming with power. Call them back, he warned quietly. Now, the demonstration must proceed, Rax replied. After you see our power, you will understand the futility of resistance. Stone closed his eyes for a moment, connecting fully with his 5 ships. In his mind, they blazed like stars, ready for his commands. Then let me give you a demonstration of your own. The thunder burst from the flagship's docking bay, its engines firing at full power. Around it, Stone's 4 hidden ships dropped their stealth fields, appearing like ghosts in the void. Through 5 sets of sensors, Stone saw everything. Every enemy ship, every weapon charging, every possible angle of attack. Impossible, Rax gasped, watching the screens. Those ships have no crews. Stone's vessels moved in perfect coordination, flowing through space like a deadly dance. The alien fleet opened fire, their advanced weapons lighting up the darkness. But they were firing at where the ships had been, not where Stone knew they would be. Through his neural interface, Stone controlled all 5 ships as naturally as breathing. The thunder led the charge, drawing enemy fire while his other ships struck from impossible angles. His enhanced mind processed combat data from all directions simultaneously, turning the aliens' superior numbers against them. Their formations are too rigid, Stone announced, even as his ships destroyed 3 enemy cruisers. They can't adapt fast enough. The Mars colony's defense systems came online, adding their fire to Stone's assault. The alien ships, designed for overwhelming force against large targets, struggled to track his smaller, more agile vessels. Stop this, Rax commanded. One human cannot possibly. You studied our weapons, Stone interrupted, his ships continuing their devastating attack. You studied our technology, but you never understood what makes humans special. Another alien ship exploded as Stone's vessels executed a complex maneuver that scattered their formation. His enhanced mind guided each ship through the chaos, finding weaknesses in their perfect patterns. We adapt, Stone continued, sweat forming on his forehead from the mental strain of controlling 5 ships in combat. We overcome. We do the impossible because we don't accept limitations. The alien attack fleet began to retreat, their perfect formation broken. Of the 100 ships that had approached Mars, 30 were destroyed, and many more damaged. Not a single human colony had been hit. Rax stared at the tactical display in disbelief. One human, he muttered. One human did this. Stone finally released his direct neural control of the ships, letting them hold defensive positions around Mars. His head pounded from the effort, but his enhanced systems were already compensating, reducing the strain. This was just 5 ships against 100, Stone said quietly. Do you really want to see what humanity can do when we're actually trying? The alien commander looked at Stone with all 4 eyes, finally understanding the true meaning of fear. They had spent centuries watching humanity, preparing to stop what they saw as a potential threat. But they had waited too long. Humanity hadn't just grown stronger, they had evolved beyond anything the stellar dominion had expected. Perhaps, Rax said slowly, we should reconsider our approach to this situation. Stone nodded, but kept his ships ready. The real battle hadn't even begun yet. After the defense of Mars, Commander Stone knew he couldn't wait for the aliens' next move. His enhanced mind had already calculated the risks. Earth needed to show strength now, while the Dominion was still shocked by their failure. Your demonstration is over, Stone told Rax aboard the alien flagship. Now it's my turn. Before the alien commander could respond, Stone activated his neural interface. Back on Earth, a hidden hangar opened. 20 unmanned ships, each one linked to his neural network, powered up their engines. Stone had never attempted to control so many at once, but humanity had run out of options. His head throbbed as the neural connections formed. 25 points of light now burned in his mind. His 5 original ships plus the 20 new ones. The pain was intense, but his enhanced systems adapted, channeling the strain throughout his modified nervous system. Launch detected from Earth, an alien officer reported. Multiple small vessels approaching at high speed. Rax turned all 4 eyes to Stone. What are you doing? Showing you why you should have left us alone. Stone's voice was steady despite the enormous mental effort. Through 25 pairs of eyes, he watched space itself seem to bend as his ships accelerated toward the alien fleet. The Dominion ships moved to attack positions, their formations perfect as always. But Stone had studied their patterns during the Mars battle. His enhanced mind had mapped every weakness, every flaw in their rigid tactics. His ships attacked from all directions at once, moving in ways that should have been impossible. While normal pilots thought in 3 dimensions, Stone's neural interface let him feel space itself. His vessels danced through the void, striking and vanishing before the aliens could respond. Their shields are too predictable, Stone explained, even as his ships tore through the alien fleet. They always expect attacks from the most logical angles. Humans aren't always logical. A group of his ships flew straight into the middle of an alien formation, then split apart in 20 different directions. The alien vessels, trying to track too many targets, ended up firing on each other. Their perfect formation became their perfect trap. Sweat poured down Stone's face. Managing 25 ships pushed his neural interface to its limits, but with each passing moment, his enhanced brain adapted, found new ways to process the overwhelming data. Impossible, Rax whispered, watching his fleet fall into chaos. Our simulations showed this level of neural control would drive any being insane. That's the difference between us, Stone said through gritted teeth. You rely on simulations. We try things that shouldn't be possible. Sometimes, we surprise ourselves. The battle stretched across space, a deadly dance of human improvisation against alien technology. Stone's ships seemed to be everywhere at once, striking from impossible angles, retreating only to attack again in completely new patterns. 10 alien ships destroyed, then 20, then 50. The mighty Dominion fleet began to break formation for the first time in its history. Their rigid tactics fell apart against an enemy they couldn't predict. Stop, Rax finally shouted. You've made your point. Stone kept his ships in attack position, but held their fire. The strain of controlling them was tremendous, but his enhanced systems were learning, adapting, making it easier with each passing moment. Have I? Stone asked. Because I don't think you understand yet. This isn't about winning a battle. It's about showing you why humanity deserves its place among the stars. Through his neural interface, Stone felt something strange. His enhanced mind was processing the ship controls more easily now. What had started as 25 separate points of light were becoming a single unified constellation in his consciousness. You feared us because you saw our potential, Stone continued. But you never saw all of it. We're still evolving, still adapting. Even now, in the middle of battle, we're becoming something new. Rax stared at the tactical displays, watching Stone's ships move with impossible coordination. The alien commander finally understood. They hadn't come to prevent humanity's evolution. They had arrived just in time to witness it. The battle had paused, but tension still filled the alien flagship's command center. Commander Stone stood calmly, his neural link maintaining perfect control over his 25 ships that surrounded the alien fleet. His enhanced mind had adapted to the strain, and now the multiple connections felt almost natural. High Commander Rax broke the silence. There is something you need to see. He pressed a button, and a hidden door opened in the wall. Inside was a small room filled with strange equipment. Stone followed him in, keeping his ships ready through the neural interface. The room contained what looked like pilot seats, but they were damaged, burnt out. And beside them lay something that made Stone's enhanced eyes narrow, neural interface ports, very similar to his own. "You tried to make these," Stone said, understanding dawning in his mind. "For 300 years, Rax admitted, every species in the stellar dominion attempted to develop neural interfaces. Every attempt failed. Images appeared on the room's walls, alien pilots convulsing, their minds broken by neural feedback. Stone watched through his enhanced vision as species after species failed to maintain the neural connections. The technology itself wasn't the problem," Rax continued. "We mastered that centuries ago. It was our minds that couldn't adapt." Direct neural control of multiple vessels drove every test subject insane within minutes. "But humans can do it," Stone said quietly. "Yes. Your brains are different. More flexible. We discovered this when we first began studying Earth. Your species can form new neural pathways, adapt to changes in ways we cannot imagine." More images appeared, human brain scans compared to alien ones. Stone's enhanced mind processed the differences instantly. Where alien brains showed fixed, unchanging patterns, human brains were constantly shifting, growing, adapting. "That's why you attacked," Stone realized. "Not because we're dangerous, but because we can do what you can't." Rax's 4 eyes blinked in sequence. "When we detected your enhancement program, we knew we had waited too long. You weren't just theorizing about neural interfaces anymore. You had already succeeded." Stone thought about his 25 ships still holding position outside. What had started as an overwhelming strain was now becoming easier by the minute. His brain was adapting, creating new pathways to handle the load. "You could have shared this knowledge," Stone said. "We could have worked together." Some suggested that, Rax admitted, but others feared what humans might become. "Your potential for growth seems to have no limits. Today, you control 25 ships. What about in a year? 10 years? Through his neural interface, Stone felt something new. The ships weren't just separate points of light anymore. They had become a network, each one strengthening his connection to the others. His enhanced mind was growing, evolving even now. "Show me the failed experiments," Stone requested. "All of them." Data flooded the screens, centuries of research, countless attempts to achieve what he was doing right now. Every species had tried. Every species had failed, except humans. "Your biology, your very consciousness, is unique in known space," Rax said. "You can parallel process multiple awareness streams without losing your core identity. You can adapt to neural loads that would shatter any other mind. And that's why you wanted to stop us before we reached the stars. Yes, once humanity spreads to other worlds, nothing will be able to contain your growth. Your potential is frightening." Stone looked at his reflection in one of the screens. His neural interface was glowing softly, connecting him to his ships, to the very fabric of space itself. In that moment, he understood both the aliens' fear and humanity's true strength. "You're right," he said finally. "Our potential is frightening. But fear doesn't have to lead to conflict. It can lead to understanding." Rax studied him with all 4 eyes. "What are you suggesting?" "I'm suggesting," Stone said, feeling his neural network pulse with new possibilities, "that it's time for both our species to adapt." Commander Stone stood at the center of the alien flagship's main bridge, his neural interface humming with power. Through it, he could feel all 25 of his ships maintaining their defensive positions around the massive alien fleet. But now he had a different purpose in mind. "Open a channel to all ships," Stone commanded, "both human and Dominion vessels." High Commander Rax nodded to his communications officer. "Channel open." Stone closed his eyes for a moment, feeling the neural network expand through his enhanced consciousness. When he spoke, his voice carried across space to every ship in both fleets. "This is Commander James Stone of Earth," he began. "What you're about to see is a demonstration of humanity's true potential, not for war, but for understanding." Through his neural interface, Stone commanded his ships to move, but instead of attack formations, they began a complex dance through space. His enhanced mind guided them in patterns that mirrored the structure of the human nervous system, a living, growing network of connections. For centuries, the stellar dominion has watched humanity with fear. Stone continued. They saw our potential and thought it meant danger. Today, I show you what it really means. He opened his neural interface data to the alien fleet sensors. On every ship's display, they could see how his mind adapted, how it grew to handle the increasing neural load. It was a window into humanity's unique gift, the ability to evolve and change in real time. Humanity is different, Stone explained. Our minds can adapt in ways yours cannot. But this isn't a weakness in your species or a threat from ours. It's an opportunity. Through the neural link, Stone felt his consciousness expand further. He could sense the patterns of space itself between his ships, the invisible threads that connected everything. His enhanced mind processed it all, growing stronger with each new connection. We don't want to conquer. We want to explore, to learn, to grow. And we can help you do the same. Rax stepped forward. "What are you proposing?" "A partnership," Stone replied. "Humanity's adaptive neural capabilities combined with your advanced technology. We can find ways to help your people interface with machines without the neural feedback that has held you back. Together, we can push the boundaries of what's possible." The alien commander's 4 eyes studied the data displays showing Stone's neural patterns. "And if we refuse? If we choose to fight?" Stone's ships moved again, briefly forming an attack pattern that could tear through the alien fleet's defenses. Then they returned to their peaceful formation. "Then one human with 25 ships will show you why that would be a mistake," Stone said quietly. "But that's not the future I want. That's not the future either of our species needs." Silence filled space as the stellar dominion considered his words. Stone kept his neural network active, ready for either outcome. His enhanced systems had fully adapted now. He could feel the potential for even more connections, more growth. Finally, Rax spoke. "For 3 centuries, we feared what humanity might become. Perhaps it is time to discover it together." The alien commander turned to his fleet and sent a new command. Slowly, the massive warships powered down their weapons. Stone felt the change through his neural interface. The tension in space itself seemed to ease. "Commander Stone," Rax said formally, "the Stellar Dominion accepts your proposal. We choose understanding over fear, cooperation over conflict." Stone nodded, letting his ship settle into a peaceful orbit. Through his neural link, he sent a message back to Earth, announcing the new peace. Humanity had faced its greatest test not through superior firepower, but through the very adaptability that had frightened their opponents. "Then let's begin," Stone said, feeling the vast potential of both species' combined knowledge stretching out before them like the endless stars. "We have a lot to learn from each other." As his consciousness danced through the neural network, Stone smiled. The aliens had come to prevent humanity's evolution into something greater. Instead, they would help guide it, and perhaps find their own path to growth along the way.